Museum of Contemporary Art is a cultural staple right here in Denver. And the museum has some moving exhibitions coming up this fall that you're not going to want to miss. Well, here's my chat with MCA Denver's Ellen Bruss Senior Curator Miranda Lash. Well, here we are chatting with Miranda. Miranda, I'd like to start by asking you, who is Jason Moran, and in what ways does his music affect his creative practices?
Thank you so much. So Jason Moran is such an incredible innovator in the realm of art and music. He's a MacArthur genius in the field of jazz, and he's also artistic director of the Kennedy Center. We invited him here to do a project which combines his talents in art and jazz. And on discovering the jazz history of Colorado, he wanted specifically to engage with the history of 5 Points, which, as you may know, is known as the Harlem of the West, and the incredible history of the Cotton Club in Colorado Springs. So he had an amazing time working with our colleagues at the Blair Caldwell African American Research Library, learning about the history of jazz here and combining it with his practice.
That sounds wonderful. Now, what can viewers of this exhibition expect to see when they visit Jason Moran? This is Bathing the Room with Blues.
Yes, it'll be a gorgeous exhibition. When you enter the MCA Denver galleries, you're going to see works on paper that Jason created during the COVID-19 pandemic in the last year, where he essentially laid a piece of Gampi paper down on a piano keyboard, then covered his fingers in pigment and played songs onto the paper with the keyboard underneath, or I'm sorry, the piano keys underneath. So essentially what you're seeing are these vibrant, deep blue, black traces of a performance. He's obsessed with the idea of the residue of music, capturing something that is otherwise ephemeral. Then you'll walk through the space and you'll see an artwork called Stage 3 Deuces, which has an actual Steinway piano, a player piano that will be playing live music, as well as a space that will have live performances in. Downstairs, you'll see an incredible video by Lorna Simpson, and upstairs, there's a beautiful exhibition of work by Deborah Roberts called I'm.
Oh, and speaking of Deborah Roberts, this is a prominent artist working in collage. Why does she choose to focus on the perspective of children when it comes to her work?
So in her collages, she really wants to show us the perspective of children, on the one hand, because when we see children, it helps us to understand and sympathize with the experience. She knew that when people try to understand humanity and particularly Black lives through the perspective of children, it sort of cues us into being more sympathetic and more aware of their circumstances. Secondly, she wanted to articulate the fact that often Black children are forced to grow beyond their years and face quite a number of challenges due to systemic racism and unequal access to opportunities.
Got it. Now, we've heard that Deborah has created a special mural for this exhibition inspired by James Baldwin's only children's book, Little Man, Little Man. Can you tell us more about this mural?
Yes, so it's very large scale. It will be in our promenade gallery on the second floor. It's a vinyl mural that first appeared outside the Contemporary Austin Museum. Now it's indoors at the MCA Denver. And what you will see in this mural is a large-scale reproduction of a young boy dancing, jumping, playing, doing all the things a young, small boy would do, made of collage, and the collage components of his hands are often sourced from important Black historical figures. So in other words, when you see his palm facing straight outwards, it's actually a reproduction of the hand of President Barack Obama when he was assuming the oath of office. So it's large scale, it's very typical of her work in combining elements of adult faces and children's faces into the same visual image.
So how can people interested in seeing this exhibition get tickets and plan their visit? How long do they have?
So first off, these incredible exhibitions will be on view until January 30th, 2022. If you're interested in visiting, we always take walk-ups, or we endeavor to take walk-ups, but we do encourage you to reserve tickets at mcadenver.org. Once you're on a website, you'll have access to a host of other learning opportunities, from audio guides and podcasts, access to our programming. But we encourage you to come and check us out. We're free every first Saturday of the month, and we're located right in downtown Denver, walking distance from Union Station.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Miranda. It was great chatting with you.
Likewise, thank you.
Good stuff. The Museum of Contemporary Art Denver has 2 exhibitions opening on September the 10th that you can enjoy. And then January 30th, 2022, you'll see Jason Moran's Bathing the Room with Blues featuring Deborah Roberts. Get your tickets online at mcadenver.org. Coco is back with something tasty in just 2 minutes.